Okay, this is number 1. We want to make a table in Desmos. X is the sugar. Save you a little bit of time and pause this and then come back. Okay, I took that and I put all the numbers in. Now to get our line of best fit, we can hit Y1, float A, M, X1 plus B. And you can see our equation there is going to be Y is equal to 2.97X plus 281.819. Okay, so you have your slope and your y-intercept right there. Number 2 asks us, what effect does this have on this line, on the slope and the y-intercept? Okay, so envision this line without that point there. I think our line would be a little bit more like this. Okay, so if it's like this, this point has brought it more like this. So our slope is becoming less steep, and our y-intercept is becoming less. So slope is less steep. Y-intercept is less as well. Okay, so it would be here. That point brings it like this. Okay. Okay, number 3. This is vehicle weight and the fuel efficiency of the vehicle. So you can think about these points here. If we just had these here, I think our line of best fit would probably be more like this. Okay. Now if I add this point in here, by the way, that's a Bentley Mulsanne, I don't know, something like that, which would cost over $300,000. Anyway, that's more than most houses. So what does that one car do to this value? So without it, it looks like this. With it, it shifts it like this. Okay, so that point takes our slope and makes it less steep, and takes our y-intercept, which would be up here, and brings it down here. So the point makes slope less steep and y-intercept less or smaller. Okay, number 4, we have students' memory score, how good their memory is on a task, and their reaction time, how long it takes them to react. So there's a relationship here. Okay, so if we look just at this group of points right here without student A and B, I would say our line of best fit might be about like that. Okay, somewhere around there. So student A, if I put this point in there, you can see where that line goes. It goes like this. Okay, so think about what happens to the slope here. So the slope will decrease. We're less steep. And the y-intercept, okay, the y-intercept was down here, y-intercept increases. Okay, so the slope up and over becomes less steep, the y-intercept increases. Okay, for part B, we're looking at student B. Okay, this is the original. If you look at student B, student B is right here in the middle of all these x's. So it doesn't really change our slope one way or the other, but it will take our y-intercept and increase it. Okay, so it increase there. So slope doesn't change. And y-intercept increases. Yeah, I think this is a pretty interesting problem. How long is the gestational period? So from conception to birth, humans are about 9 months, right? and then the lifespan, how many years the animals live. Okay, so without these 2 points out here, I'd say our line of best fit would probably be about like this. Okay, would be about there. That's kind of in the middle of everything there. Okay, now what does point A do? Point A, they say, is a hippopotamus. Okay, so point A, notice it's right in the middle of all my x's, so it's not going to shift the slope at all right and left, but it will take my line and move it up a little bit. So slope doesn't change. Y-intercept increases. Okay. Point B is the African elephant. Okay, the African elephant is pretty close to the line of best fit, but it's a little bit above it. Okay, so I think it probably shifts like this a little bit. Shifts it like this. Okay, so this slope will increase. We'll get steeper. Where's the y-intercept? Okay, so it was here, and y-intercept will decrease.
Okay, question number 6 asks us, if I change the x and the y around here, okay, we noticed that it didn't change the r, right, the correlation coefficient the other day, but what does it do to the equation, okay? So what I'm going to do here is just in this equation, switch the x and the y. I think it'll work. So let's say x1 tilde m y1 plus b. Okay, so you can see here our correlation coefficient didn't change, right? Okay, the r stays the same. They're still the same spread out. Okay, and you can see those points a little better there. Okay, but you can see the line of best fit has changed. Okay, the line. Okay, so these are those points here originally with the line of best fit through it. If I would plot these points, they would be, you know, scattered down here on this line. Okay, so the line definitely changes even though the r doesn't. Okay, so our new slope is 0.15. Our new y-intercept is 0.31.